Hello and welcome to Let's Play Dungeon Keeper. My computer is still not turned up, and considering the 6 frame rates a second that Fraps is apparently recording at, this is probably not going to go very well. Still, we'll have a test of the first level of Dungeon Keeper. We shall begin a new campaign, because I conquered this in my own time. So, fairly certain there should be voices going on at that stage. Let me just make sure I've got all the settings set up properly. Options. Should be alright, really. We'll keep things like that. Sound quality is high. Speaking configuration, stereo. Control options, yada yada yada. Okay. There should still, though, be some music going on. Let's see how this goes. Begin a new campaign. Step 1. No, they really should be talking during this. So this is clearly not working as well as I planned. Let's see if I can kickstart it. There we go.
Behold, your dungeon heart. Protect it well, for if it is destroyed, you will be banished forever from this land.
As I say, just a test and trying to work out things like that.
Here walks the goodly Lord Antonius. 'Tis he who holds the precious portal gem, but only when you've mustered strength sufficient should you challenge him and claim your prize.
This first level, mostly a tutorial, and most of the first 6 or 7 really are.
Lair. Hatchery.
So let's dig out there. I honestly prefer the first Dungeon Keeper game, but that's nearly impossible.
Click on the flashing seam of gold. Your imps
I also have very specific ways I build rooms. I realise it's not going to be important now, but it will be later. So, as you can see, floating around here are my imps. I can slap them to make them work harder.
To administer another, right-click on any of your
They will now work harder. This works on any minion, but you only really want to do it to imps because every other species gets angry. You can make more imps once you've researched a spell, however, imps will...
And now your faithful servant imps will carry back your gold to Dungeon Heart. Once here, it can be spent. The golden scale atop the screen keeps track of your reserves.
Indeed, as you can see there.
Indeed, but more gold is required. 12,000 units should be mined.
Very well. We shall then mine 12,000 units. Mysterious guide to being a dungeon keeper. So, imps can do quite a lot. This is possibly the most important thing, though, claiming territory. They will then reinforce the walls as well. Improvement on the first game, number 1, is that you don't need a treasure room immediately. The Dungeon Heart can store a fair amount of gold around it.
Float above your imps. These give measure to their health. Their skill acquired and reflect the simple thoughts within.
Imps will train. You used to have to train them in the training room. However, they will now train just by doing work, which actually is quite good. You want imps as high-powered as possible, and you should always make sure they've got something to do. That said, they're always generally doing something.
Keeper. You are ready to recruit more creatures to your cause. See? A portal near your dungeon heart, to where your imps must dig. They'll claim this portal to be yours. You'll see what beasts emerge.
And so, the main point of the
game... Your dungeon heart is full of gold. No more than 16,000 can it hold.
Yep. So we're going
to... The lair. A place of
dig out that.
Sleep to calm their
actually, no, we won't.
We'll do this.
We'll do this properly. Or properly for now. We don't need masses of area at this stage. Although, yeah, we'll dig it out. This will be the hatchery.
A place where creatures feed on favoured food.
And this does tend to get built like this. The main reason I build like this is purely because I like to connect things.
Your lair is not large enough to draw sufficient creatures through the portal. 15 tiles or more is what's required. Build more.
Yes. As I say, I like my connecting things, so I tend to build small squares with that little point where a door would normally be, and leading off to additional areas. It's a habit of how I play the game. Now, if we have a look over here, this is impenetrable for now because it's tutorial and it's guiding us through it step by step. But let's expand the layer.
Your layer is built. Now right-click to cancel building mode.
As you can see, they're reinforcing the walls. This makes it harder for enemies, including enemy imps, to dig through it. Improvements on the last game, though. They used to be impregnable, and you had to used to find water or lava to get around it. Which I do like about this game a bit more than the first, but yeah, the first is a better game. Really is. But it's almost impossible to run, and some of my imps are being lazy. Would you not like lazy imps? Where is the lazy... I mean, there's plenty of things for them to do. All this can be reinforced. Right, where are you?
Ah, you've picked a creature up.
Indeed.
To drop him, right-click any.
That's for being lazy. I will not stand for lazy imps. That one's fine. He's just taking the territory.
Behold your
And we now have...
the gate through which new creatures enter your domain, drawn forth to use the rooms which you provide.
So, our first creature for this level, I believe, is a goblin.
Well, a goblin has entered your domain. On his own, he is a cowardly beast, but in a horde becomes a useful fighting force.
For this first level,
Good
and
progress.
possibly the second and third,
See?
I will
Your
accept a
goblins are
goblin.
well rested in their lair, and their bellies full with juicy chicken flesh.
Oh,
Now keep
this is the
watch.
favourite thing you can do.
Very soon, more goblins
You can
will
pick up
arrive,
chickens,
and then your numbers will be strong enough to challenge Lord
place a chicken.
Antonius.
you can explode a chicken. Good times. We'll probably expand this for the sake of it, because there's not a lot else we can really do. And besides, more chickens is good. When we have the possession spell, you can possess chickens. Or at least you could in the first game. I can't remember if you can in this one or not. But possession allows you to basically control the monster's movements. At the moment, the goblins can't really do a lot, because they are weak and there's no jobs for them. They'll get jobs later on in the game, but for now, they've just got to sit there. I can't even get them... If I could get them doing something, I could possibly train them, but yeah. Oh well. Now I will be digging out certain... Actually, no, not that one. Fine, dig it out. I'll be doing some exploratory digging, trying to find secrets, because I don't remember where this one actually is. It's been a while since I've played this level. And also there's quite a lot of impregnable rock we can't quite dig around. That now is no longer impregnable, because we can now go through it. However, we want at least 4 or 5 goblins before we'll consider our attack.
I sense a breach. The servants of Antonius have broken through your walls. And
Aha!
you can move your gaze to see them now by right-clicking on the flashing blades. But
Well, goblins, you have training targets.
who, feeble as they are, pose little threat against your goblins.
Mining dwarves.
The
They're
hapless
the
enemy dwarfs are being crushed. Observe the white health flowers which appear above them. When they're near to death, you'll see that only one last petal shows.
Now, the reason they do that is because you can later build prisons and create skeletons. Skeletons are probably my favourite race in all of this game, really, apart from possibly the Bile Demon. The skeletons are actually enemies of the Bile Demon, come to that, but they can't be... Most monsters, when they get to this state of 1 bar left, can be dragged back to the lair to recover, as long as you get imps to them fast enough. Skeletons do destroy themselves when they get this low, so you have to be a bit careful
Your
with them.
goblin force is large enough to challenge Lord Antonius
Yep,
for
we got
his
5.
purple gem. Tunnel north and you will find your smug opponent skulking in his keep.
Imps are being lazy again. I'm not having this. Imps are also the only creatures you can drop on neutral terrain. Now, dig that way as well, because you can.
Away, keeper! You shall not taint Smilesville with your evil ways!
I love the heroes in this game.
Feeble Lord
Now, we're going to pick up all of those, and then we're going to get them digging. We shall wait. We'll actually let him get closer to us.
Take him out.
There we go. I knew there was a secret somewhere. Right. Protect the dungeon heart. And that is, raises all my minions by 1 level. All my minions are now level 2. And really, the hero is no match. Absolutely no match for that many level 2 goblins.
Bravo, Keeper. Lord Antonius is fallen. The portal gem lies aside his helpless form, in wait for Horny to collect it so it's yours. And comes he now.
Here we are, the Horned Reaper. He's no longer a controllable monster, but he's now essentially your equal. He's the most powerful force in this game, cannot be killed, kills virtually anything that he comes across, and I mean anything. If he gets really bored when summoned later in game, he will attack your minions if there's nothing else for him to do. But he's a useful force. And thus the first portal gem has been acquired.
Devise new spells in the library.
So now we gain access to new runes for the next level.
The training room lets creatures improve their
That's the main
skills.
one. Now, one thing that is a feature of this game, which actually... No, it started again. Hot lips. So, we now have access to 2 new rooms.
Well done, Keeper. You have successfully ended the life of Lord Antonius, and you have claimed your first portal gem as well. This is a most promising start.
Indeed, but it's only a start. So we can now look at all our stats. Which, yeah, for the moment, nothing majorly to shout about. We got the only special on the board, and it's not a one you really have to get. I'd like you to actually deselect and go now. The frame rate completely drops off there. So that's level 2, which it's not telling me about actually.
Sing Song. A joyous land filled with light and music. Let us silence their wailing voices once and for all. This land is defended by Lord Darius, a far tougher opponent than Lord Antonius. Only by harnessing the forces of dark magic will you defeat him. Build a library to attract warlocks to your cause, and they will reveal to you the secrets of the arcane.
So, we're going to get into spellcasting next time. So, until then...